Mark Fenton, I'm one of the product managers at Future Facilities, and we're here at DCW London launching the 11th release of 6SigmaDCX. A very exciting launch for us. It's the first time that we've gone into the cloud, and we're officially launching one new product called 6SigmaAccess, which is a cloud-based IT deployment and IT planning tool, as well as our kind of desktop applications, which are now using cloud solving through our partner Rescale. So I'm going to give you a quick demo of some of the new features, just to show you what we've been doing in release 11. And so I'll take it over to the screen. So the first thing I mentioned was our new platform called 6SigmaAccess. And as I mentioned, this is web-based, so I've just logged into our web base there, 6SigmaAccess.com. You can host this yourself locally, or you can host this as we have with any cloud provider. And as I say, I'm just going to go in and pick one of my rooms and take a look. Now, being web-based, this is much quicker to load than the traditional sort of desktop model that we've seen. So immediately there, I've loaded my 10,000 square foot data center with all of the assets and all of the 3D model ability. So I'm able to spin this model into 3D, actually zoom in, take a look at some of the assets in place, pick up things like the cabinets, where I get some properties about the cabinets. I also can double click and show some of the assets in there, so the individual IT is shown within this 2 and 3D model. So 6SigmaAccess is a multi-user environment, so multiple users can log in and use this for looking at their IT, looking at their capacities, and then looking at planning the future. And the beauty of it is it's linked directly into our desktop applications, so we can actually run the simulation once the deployment has been picked. So what I can do is take a look at some reports. So first sort of thing we can look at is maybe an inventory report. So this, I can go right down to the types of IT equipment. So here I can see I've got about 1,500 servers in this room. Scroll down and it breaks down that inventory by device and by user application. We can also go back and just have a look at the types of cabinet we've got in there, different types of rack and the numbers within it. If I head back to the facility, I can look at some plots that we've put in here. So if I go to something like the total power, this is showing the power per rack, and again this can be streamed, giving you live data. Or we can look at something like the available cooling. So this will be a simulation result that's done through our desktop simulation application and then sent back to this high-level access, so you can view simulation results and see where you've got available cooling and where you can make deployments. So when looking at deployments, what we can do is we've got this is synced to the DCX library, which is over 4,000 items. So I can simply just search for a device, and it will then list those devices within the libraries. And I'm able then just to click and drag, and what I get here is a simple stop-go system where you can see the racks and whether they have spare space, power or cooling capacity. So we can see if I hover over a red rack, it tells me the reasons why I can't deploy. So in this case, I don't have enough power, I don't have enough cooling, but if I select one of the green racks, all three are available. I can set my deployment in there. I can actually look at that rack, I can see where my deployment is. And when I'm happy with my deployment choice, I can then get a little report on that, confirm that, and then this gets submitted all the way back to the desktop application, so you can then go and run the simulation live. So kind of uses for this would be for our colo customers who generally go on the road. They would sell space and they would lay out cages using Access and then submit that back to the engineer who would on site run the simulation and then see whether that plan was going to work. So looking at our other web-based activities, so for the desktop applications we've now introduced a cloud solve. So this allows you to run simulations over the web if you don't have the hardware yourself, but also allowing you, if you have very large jobs or you have a tight schedule, to be able to add jobs to the web. So I can add jobs and I can pick different types of hardware, and you can see the number of cores goes up to over 200, so you can really get your flexible and high compute at any point that you require. and there's also a cost breakdown as you do that as well, so you can see what the cost is going to be to run that job. Okay, so let's take a quick look at some of the desktop features that we've put in place. Our integrations are always important, so getting closer to the wider areas of the community and data centers. And one of the things we've done is we've integrated the Green Grid's performance indicator. So for those who aren't familiar, this is a new indicator launched by the Green Grid earlier last year, which balances 3 key metrics looking at your data center performance. So we can start at the top, which is your IT thermal resilience, which basically looks at how much of your IT is safe in case of your worst case failure. On the left side we've got IT thermal conformance, which is how much of your IT is actually performing within a suitable environment in your everyday normal operation. And then we've got PUE ratio, which looks at your PUE but in a slightly different way, where we ratio that against a guide that you are trying to achieve within your operations. So this gives you an idea of the 3 metrics, and what we're able to do within the PI score is we're able to show in the form of a triangle how your data center is performing on those 3 metrics, but more importantly how they interact. So if you have a project which for example is aimed at reducing your PUE score, there is a chance that you risk your IT when you have a failure if, for example, you raise your temperatures too high. So the balance of those 3 allows you to see any change to the data center, how it will impact those 3 metrics and those 3 scores. So we've included that now in release 11, so you can track changes through. So we can see we've got the original baseline model, which is our blue scores, and then we've made an improvement through cold aisle containment, which you can see the green scores, so you can see the improvements. And the hashed blue area is actually the guidelines that I'm trying to get to for this particular site. There's much more information about the Green Grid's PI on the Green Grid website if you're interested to see more. The other integration we have is with Cormant CS, which we've launched this year, but it's part of a big suite of integrations that we have within the platform. So if I go, this all comes through our software called 6 Sigma Gateway, and we can see this is the current list of software that we integrate with, but this is we're always growing, and if any of our customers ever need new integrations, we're happy to provide those as we go. And in terms of for the desktop applications improvements, we've done over 200 improvements to the software over release 11 compared to 10. One of the big ones is improvement in solve performance. So we've tweaked our solver engine, and we're now seeing solves of twice as quick as the previous release. So that's a big improvement. We also talk to our customers a lot about difficulties they had with drawing objects like cables, pipes and ducts. So we've made a huge improvement in the way that sketching is done, whether it's from our very quick manipulator handles that allow you to draw sketches, to being able to do things like adding on bridges without any problems there. So if I drop in a bridge, we can see I can add in different bridge subjects, moving them around as well. So we spent a lot of time improving this part of the performance, improving this part of the software. There's a whole host of other what's new features that we've added, but we'll be doing a webinar later that day, or later once we release. So for that, I'd like to say thanks for joining me on this short video. For more information, head over to 6SigmaDCX11 or futurefacilities.com. Thank you.